Welcome to part 5 of this Best of Chris Cormier series. Today's matchup features 1995 versus 1997 Olympia versions. I'm quite conflicted on this one. It's plain for me to see his waist. It must be half the size in 1995 as it is in 1997. But, this is very interesting. This usually does not happen. I almost like the waistline of 97 better. Look at those engraved abs. Now that's muscle. 95 doesn't really have a whole lot in the way of ripped obliques and abs. So really the upper body I would have to give to 97. Look at the low lats, a little bit lower, more muscular. But I cannot give 97 a point here when I look at the legs. Look how ripped and striated the 95 Chris Cormier legs are. I guess at the end of the day, I might give a slight edge to 1997, but I may have to actually go back to this one. I'm going to remain slightly inconclusive until we see the results of the rest of the poses. And I do believe I am going to give 1995 a point in this front double bicep. The legs are clearly a lot more striated and ripped. Might be a little bigger in 97, sure, but not that much bigger to have a better set of wheels. I prefer the more ripped, and in combination with that little tiny waist, once again, this time you can actually see some ab development, and blooms up to a nice set of lats. I will say that vacuum, it does look good on Chris Cormier in the 97 version, but in direct comparison with that little tiny waist of his earlier versions, I just have to give the Duke to the 95 for this front double bicep. The front lat spread, however, it seems the legs have gotten twice as ripped and striated here in this front lat spread for 97. Look at the feathering. A definite edge. And when I look at the waistline, yes, 95 is a little bit smaller, but I think those lats might be a little larger in 97. Not only that, but I think the deciding factor for me is the conditioning. Look at the pectorals and the arms, much bigger and more vascular. So a slight edge here for 97. This is a pretty good little matchup. I would wager to say this is the most dominant victory so far. 97, clearly the larger version of Chris Cormier. And in my opinion, 90% of the time, the larger man, or the larger version of the same man, rather, gets the side chest. It just seems much more impressive. Look at the size of the tricep and the bicep in particular. The legs are pretty comparable, actually. But, like I said, this is a victory for sure, for 97. This will be the first and only back shot. Unfortunately, there's no rear lat spreads of either two of these years. I think I'm going to lean towards 95. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I think he might be in better condition when I look at the lower back. And when I look at the glutes, yes, they are very minute in the part of 95, but they are more conditioned, I guess. Chris Cormier, not known for his glutes. Reminds me of a Flex Wheeler, perhaps. Of course, Flex's glutes in his earlier versions, unreal. But a slight edge here. I have to take all this into consideration when making my final decision. Like that first front relaxed, I don't really think that warrants a full point for either year. I'm going to be the first to admit I am actually surprised that it's going to be inconclusive in the ab and thigh. I thought for sure the smaller waist of the 95 version was going to get it, but in actuality, here in this shot, 97 appears to have a better set of abs. Much more muscle in that abdominal region. Always liked the waistline of Chris Cormier. Fantastic. Never had that bubble gut for a big man. Of course, I kind of like the legs better of 95, so it's kind of a toss-up. Wow, what a battle this was, ladies and gentlemen. I really had to find all the comparisons that I could. And it has come down to this most muscular. And honestly, at the end of the day, I have to take everything into consideration and that side chest pose was really the only dominant victory in this one, in my opinion now. Even that one was close. And I have to say, I like 97 a little bit more in this most muscular as well, even though it is pretty much a toss-up. But look at those arms. Much bigger, much larger, more vascular. Of course, one could argue and say that set of abs is better here in the most muscular on 95. But this was a tough decision to make. And in my opinion here, 1997 advances on. And now both of the semi-final matches are set. 99 versus 97 and 2002 versus 1998. Two good matchups for sure. And as usual, because I love you guys, I'm going to be posting these at the exact same time. So no waiting around to find out the final matchup. So look forward to both of those features, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Have a good day.